Hey, what's going on, guys? Oh boy. Oh, sorry about that. You know when you swallow through the wrong pipe hole? That just happened. Woo. Sorry about that. Anyways, back at it with another review. This time we're going over the SBD Knee Sleeves. Now, I got these a little while back, and I was going to do a review on them right off the bat, but I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I haven't really tested them. But now that I've had I had them for a while, I've had them for 2 months, 3 months, something like that. Let's go 2.5. I'm able to give a full review on the actual product that has been tested and not just, hey, I got a new product, here it is. And so, what is that, something on the lens? Hold on. With that being said, here they are. Now, as you can tell by the packaging itself, I got mediums, which is right here. Okay. And then it has a bunch of like SPD stickers. And then it has the actual SPD and IPF approved is what it says there. And on the back, it's just a barcode with the sizing again, and then the safety sticker there. But that's it. Alright, now I got me the mediums, and before I show you guys those and how to put them on, the sizing chart is very important because they're really tight, especially if you've never worn knee sleeves before. Going from nothing to like an extremely tight knee sleeve might be uncomfortable, especially if you wear leggings or joggers, like thick joggers. They might be uncomfortable, it might be too tight, might cut some circulation, which is not what you're looking for. But nonetheless, they do the job. They make you feel safe. They keep your joints warm, which is the primary goal for them, is to not send you to freaking Snap City. So, going back to the sizing, on their website, and the only place you can get these are andersonspowerlifting.com, that I've seen anyways. I'm a medium, and there's a sizing chart that says measure your knee joint, as a relaxed straight leg. And if your calf is measure your knee in circumference, but if your calf is bigger than your knee joint, then go off of your calf measurement. Now, I was on the verge of like a medium large, so I emailed them and they responded to me within like a day or two, with their feedback on which size I should go with, and that's why I went with the medium. So, if you don't know, if you're like on the fence like me, you're like, I could be this size and this size, but I don't know, I would recommend you guys email them, and they'll respond. So let's rip these bad boys open. Now, I've obviously used these already. I just put them back into the packaging because I wanted you guys to look at how they came. It's the actual knee sleeves. They come out already used, obviously. That's why they're kind of bent, as you can kind of see, but hopefully. Anyways, that's the sleeves. They come with 2 sleeves, and then also it comes with this sizing guide, which is basically the same sizing guides that they have on their website. Okay, and then a fitment guide on the back. So there you go. These are coordinated left to right. They are specific to a leg. This is the right, and as obviously says the size on there, which is a medium, and then a SBD apparel, just like the tag, and these are made in Great Britain, as you can see there. These are made out of 95% neoprene and 5% nylon. Now guys, one big tip for using these right here, or any knee sleeve, these will get so soaked in sweat, it's disgusting. The first time I used them, without any leggings, joggers, just on my knees themselves, and those things came off like they just got soaked in water. So these will get really sweaty really fast. Okay, so it says here to hand wash them. I would only imagine to hand wash these. I wouldn't put these in the washer or dryer just in case. I mean, they're $100. You don't want to ruin $100 worth of knee sleeves. You know what I'm saying? Yes, $100. They're $90 plus shipping is like 90 or like $7, so it comes out to $100, something like that. Don't ruin them. These will obviously get stinky. These will get very sweaty. All right, especially if you have leggings or any kind of pants on. It will get really sweaty. So I would suggest taking some lessons on washing by hand if you're not used to washing by hand. If you know, wash all your clothes through a machine, I would take some lessons, look at some YouTube videos on how to wash clothes by hand, because you will want to wash these, because these will get really stinky really fast. So that's the inside, and there's nothing. I turned this inside out so I can show you these, but let me flip it inside out again. So on the front is the SBD logo. Now you can see it kind of cracking, kind of that's not cracking, it's just getting beat up, I guess you would say. It's not cracking. See what I'm saying? It's not cracking. But they do get like that. They come, you know, flat when you first get them, but over time they get a little worn out, because it's not. It's kind of like a. It's kind of just like a sticker. That's all it is. But anyways, they come designated. One's the right and then one's the left. Now, why did I decide after so many years of bodybuilding to get some knee sleeves? In the past, I've tried them before, and to tell you the truth, it was the mentality of like that macho man. Oh, I don't need knee sleeves, I got this, right? Lately, the past, I would say, year, my knees have been hurting. After leg day, especially if I'm walking up the stairs, they really hurt. So for those of you who don't have joint pains in your knees yet, I would suggest getting knee sleeves for that matter, so you don't have pain knee issues down the road, not have them as soon, for longevity purposes basically. Do they help? Absolutely. Let's say I'm doing heavy squats. When I use these, I don't feel pain in my knees anymore. I remember squatting deep and my knees hurting and hearing that like noise. Oh, so painful. And then the day after, or even like a week after, my knees would still hurt, because I would train legs 2 times a week, and so my knees wouldn't get a rest long enough for them not to hurt, so they were constantly hurting. That's why I went ahead and got some knee sleeves, which have helped a ton with the pain. I don't feel as much pain, or sometimes I don't feel pain at all after leg day. So for that benefit alone, I mean, that's worth it for me, to tell you the truth. Now, what is the sole purpose of knee sleeves? It's basically to protect your joints and your knees. Whether you've been lifting for a long time or not, going heavy period is going to take a toll on your joints. Whether it's your elbows, your wrists, your knees, your ankles, you know, and this is just a tool to help sustain longevity to your joints. It's not that this is a way to cheat. Like a lot of people think that, and I used to think that before, and I was like, why do people use them? Why do you need them? And you know, it was the young me, it was the immature me that didn't know, you know, the science behind them. But now I do, and why they help. You know, they don't add any weight. Let's say my squat is at, let's say your squat's at 200, you know? If you put these on, you think you're all of a sudden gonna squat 215, 220? No. I squat the same weight when I got these. The only difference wasn't the weight. It was the way they made me feel, which was safe. And that's a good thing, because when you're in the downward position of squatting deep, or you're, let's say, leg pressing, and you can feel it. For those of you who have experienced knee problems, or might have arthritis or even psoriasis, because that's the type of infection that attacks the joints. So like I said, don't think that these knee sleeves are all of a sudden gonna, you know, increase your max leg press or your max squat. No, they're not going to. They just make you feel safe, and that's a good feeling, you know, especially when you got 2, 3, 4 plates on each side of the bar and you're squatting really low. You know, you don't want that bar to like slip just because one of your knees gave out and then it tweaks your back up and you're out of the gym for 6 months because you were Mr. Macho Man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't need to be obviously these. I went with these because these are longer than your average ones. I don't remember how long they are, but I mean, look compared to my head, they're pretty big. Like I said before, they are $100. So if you don't have $100, then that's okay. I don't say they're a necessity like right now at this moment. You know, I lifted for like 6, almost 7 years without them, and so, but you know, my knees do hurt now. If I would have used them before, so if I would have used knee sleeves earlier, maybe my knees wouldn't hurt at this point. So, you know, that's on me. For those of you who can afford to get, you know, knee sleeves, and there are cheaper ones out there. I've seen them like 80, 60, 70 bucks. They're just different brands. Just do your research. At the end of the day, what I'm saying is I would recommend them. These SBD knee sleeves I would recommend for sure for anyone who's trying to stay in bodybuilding or in powerlifting for a long time, because your joints will take a beating. Also, I'm not into powerlifting, but I know that in some divisions you can't use knee sleeves in powerlifting, so I'm not exactly sure, you know, how that works, because like I said, I'm not into powerlifting. But I know I talked to some people at the gym that have talked to me about these, and they're not allowed to use them because of the regulations of their division. So just a heads up if you're a powerlifter. You don't want to invest $100 and then not be able to use them. That'd be kind of crappy. Now lastly, before I let you guys go, is I will show you how I put these on, because these, if you think you're going to grab these and just slip them on like socks, boy, you wrong, because these suckers will not go on like that. I'll show you how I put them on. And just another word of advice, if you're using these over leggings or joggers or any pants, they will slip a little, so you're gonna have to be, you know, tugging on them every once in a while, because they're gonna tend to slip, simply because, you know, they're not strapped on to your skin. They're on some kind of material that moves. So now I'm gonna show you how I put them on. So in order to put these on, you have to take your shoes off. They will not go over your shoes either. So first thing I do is I turn them inside out. Obviously the outside has the name on it and the tag is on the inside. So just stick your hand in here and flip them inside out. Just like that. And then you're gonna stick your foot on the bottom end, which is the lettering right here. Make sure it's on the front. And then basically what you're gonna do is pull it over your knee. So we turned it inside out to pull it inside out again, basically. So let me show you what I mean. Sorry for the toy back there. That's Copper and Shadow's toy. Well, actually Copper's toy. That thing right there. He loves it. It was actually like 9 feet. It was like a 3-piece thing, and now it's only one. Alright guys. So if I'm right here, I got this, so this sign right here is going to be on the front. It's gonna be right here. So I take my foot, I slip it on like a sock on the bottom part, right, like so. Kind of maneuver it. Now what I do is I grab the bottom and I'm gonna pull it straight up. Now pull it hard. You'll need to pull it hard because it'll get stuck if you don't. So I kind of flip it a little upside down like that, and then from here I just pull it just like that. Okay, now it's on there. You see that? Okay, just like that. Pull the front, pull the back, and there it is. That's how I put them on, and I take them off the same way. I grab it and then I pull it down, just like that, and then pull, and it comes right off. There's obviously different ways to put them on, but I find that way the easiest for me. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have yourself a wonderful day, and as always, stay fitted, Stick with it, and I'll see you in the next one.